3. The quiet heroes. Among Us change rarely begins with a grand speech or a single act of heroism. It grows quietly, through thousands of small, unseen sacrifices that seldom make headlines but slowly shape the soul of a nation. It is found in the honest worker who refuses to cut corners, the teacher who stays late to guide a struggling student, the parent who wakes before dawn to prepare food for the family, and the commuter who whispers a prayer instead of anger in traffic. These are the seeds of transformation, humble, hidden, but holy. A nation does not decay overnight. It weakens when its people surrender integrity one compromise at a time. But the opposite is also true. A nation can be healed, renewed, and reborn when its people begin to live rightly again, one choice at a time. When a citizen refuses a bribe, when a public servant performs his duty with honesty, when a businessman chooses fairness over profit, light begins to break through the cracks of our collective darkness. In a world that celebrates fame, noise, and self-promotion, we easily forget that the greatest revolutions of goodness happen in silence, in kitchens, classrooms, offices, jeepneys, and chapels. The quiet worker, the faithful mother, the honest vendor, the prayerful teacher, they are the unseen builders of a moral nation. Their actions may not trend online, but they echo in heaven. When these small lights unite, they form a constellation strong enough to pierce even the darkest night. For God works not only through miracles, but through the steady faithfulness of those who keep doing what is right, even when no one is watching. The path to national renewal will never begin in the halls of power or in the noise of rallies. It begins in hearts, in the simple decision to live with honesty, compassion, and faith each day. Because the strength of a country is not measured by its wealth or power, but by the number of its people who quietly choose to do what is right, not once, but every single day. And when those small acts of goodness come together, one heart, one prayer, one honest deed at a time, then and only then will we see the dawn of a truly changed nation. Whisper moment. A nation is rebuilt not by noise, but by hands that keep choosing honesty, even when no one claps. 4. We lost Edsa, but we can still win the next generation. This sounds too good to be true, like a dream from Alice in Wonderland. But is there another way? With the deep-seated corruption and the kind of politics pervading our country, everything seems hopeless. We watch scandals unfold, see the same faces return to power, and hear the same promises that never translate into change. At times, it feels like we are trapped in an endless loop of disappointment. There appears to be no solution at all. So what do? Fold our arms and accept defeat? Number. Because resignation is the final victory of evil. We have to start somewhere. Real change begins not in the halls of Congress, but in the classrooms, the homes, and the hearts of the young. We lost EDSA, not because the dream was wrong, but because we stopped nurturing its spirit in the next generation. We thought freedom would sustain itself. It didn't. If we want a nation that will one day rise with honesty and compassion, we must begin again, with the youth. While their moral fibers are still being formed, while their hearts are still open, and while their capacity for transformation is still pliant, we must guide them. Not through empty lectures, but through example, through lives that show that faith, integrity, and love of country are not outdated virtues, but the only way forward. We have to accept the brutal reality that change will be difficult, if not impossible, under the present system. The moral decay runs deep, the structures are compromised, and even good men find themselves trapped in a culture that rewards corruption and punishes integrity. But when all other paths seem closed, one door remains open, to start again from zero. To rebuild not through slogans or political reform, but through the formation of the young, while their hearts and minds are still soft enough to be shaped. The true revolution must begin in the classroom and at home, a collaborative undertaking between school and family, where values are taught not only in words but lived through daily example. Teachers must once again become moral guides, not just transmitters of information. Parents must reclaim their sacred role as the first educators of the soul, showing their children that honesty, respect, and faith still matter even when the world mocks them. It is here, in these small beginnings, where hope quietly rekindles. The change we could not achieve in the streets of EDSA may yet be born in the classrooms of tomorrow, in the homes where truth is spoken gently, and in the hearts of children who learn early that character is the greatest power a nation can build.